Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, folks. This is your brother Abdurrahman Bashir, and joining me is Mufti Nauman. How you doing today? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, Sheikh? You doing all right, man? Doing all
Alhamdulillah.
right. Another story
Alhamdulillahi
time,
Rabbil
man.
Alameen. Yeah, man. Another story time. We gave all the young guns a week break during the Thanksgiving break. I was busy with mine too. So Alhamdulillah, folks. Welcome back to our story time. Today we are going to be covering chapter 6 through 10 from our second book, Planet Omar, and this has to do with Omar trying to help raise funds for his local masjid, right? Omar, he had moved to a new town. They made a new masjid, their home, their regular place of worship. And then they started hearing the announcement that, hey, the masjid is about to close down. So Omar, Daniel, and the rest of his crew, they can come up with creative ways to raise money for their masjid. So inshallah, we're going to go ahead and get into that story. Are you ready, Mufti Saab?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Are
I think
you
our
are
viewers,
you
kiddos
are
are ready
you
too, man.
are you ready though?
I'm ready, man.
All right.
Sound like the beginning of SpongeBob. Are you ready, kids?
All right. So now, before we get started, that's chapters. Before we get started, just wanted to let our audience know that, hey, if you have streaming available on your TV, you can go on the YouTube app. Ask your parents to set you up over there. If you're watching on a laptop, you can just sit back and relax. Have your breakfast. It's a Saturday morning. Back to school week was probably horrible for a lot of y'all. I know it takes forever to get my kids out of bed, and who wants to go to school, right? But yeah, stay in school, right? That's what we heard all our lives, right, Mufti? All right. By the way, I'm gonna provide you a link in the comment section below. We would love to see how your family enjoys watching story time. We got, look at that Belgian waffle with the whipped cream and the berries and whatnot, and eggs on top, all part
That
of your
gets me every week.
yeah,
Every week, that royal breakfast.
all a part of your
Continental deluxe.
balanced breakfast, right? And these are some other pictures. We have the Hafid family. We got little Asia. We got a picture all the way from South Africa when we had Ramesa join us for story time. So inshallah, we're going to go ahead and get started. And looks like it starts off with me. Okay? All right. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Chapter 6. It was the first Sunday in 3 months that we had to cancel our family tradition of Science Sundays because the meeting in the mosque was in the morning. And Science Sunday always happens in the morning. Everything at our house has its set time and day and exactness, as if life is one big science experiment. Morning is mom and dad's favorite time. They always wake up early, even over the holidays, and act as if they've drunk loads of soda even before breakfast. Some days, Dad takes his motorcycle out after his dawn prayer so he can enjoy the empty roads. Now, for those of you who don't know what dawn means not a boss. Dawn means the early, before sunrise morning, Fajr time, okay? So Dad takes his motorcycle out after his dawn prayers so he can enjoy the empty roads. Mom always worries that he goes too fast. He always says, "Don't worry, darling, I'm safe with it." But I know he's not, because I've seen his face when he drives the Peanut and gets to go fast on the highway. He looks like a kid who's just been given a lifetime supply of Oreos. By the way, I've always wanted a lifetime supply of Oreos. And that's Omar talking. I love them. I know 17 different ways to eat them. If mom hadn't refused to buy them for me anymore, I would know at least 37 by now. Hey, Mufti, bro, you like Oreos?
Dude, I love Oreos, man.
In the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that every child is born on fitrah, right? For those young ones who are watching, fitrah means that every child grows up like naturally understanding that he has been created by God, by Allah, right? So there are certain things that, there are certain, this is one thing that a baby's born with. Another thing that a baby's born with, how they say some animals, they know how to fly. They know, the mom just pushes the bird out of the nest. Some animals are born with just knowing what to do. I think kids know naturally how to open up an Oreo and eat the cream, bro. I just think that comes natural. So I got a 3-year-old in the house, right? And he was 2 years old, and this is like the first time we gave him an Oreo, and lo and behold, click, open, lick, chomp, and throw the cookie away. Oh my God. I asked his mom, I asked my wife, did you teach him how to do this? Nope. Well, I guess it's innate and natural. Yeah. So that's just Oreos for you. Anyways, back to Sunday. I couldn't wait to start planning money-making ideas. Charlie and Daniel were going to come over when we got back from the mosque so we could start. At the meeting, we found out that they needed to raise $30,000. The Imam of the masjid spoke to everybody. He looked like he was sad, but trying not to be. We've discovered an urgent issue with the masjid building. Don't panic. It's holding for now, but it's something we need to get working on in a few weeks. The woodwork in the roof is rotting. The whole room full of people looked nervously up at the ceiling. Like, imagine, hey, Mufti, imagine one day, like in Friday khutbah, he's like, okay, nobody look up, but the roof's about to collapse, right? Everyone's looking up at the roof. Now, unfortunately, we don't have enough funds to pay for the work needed to fix everything. And if we can't raise it, we're going to have to close the masjid because it won't be safe. The Imam finished. Whew! I thought, that sounds kind of easy. I think I could raise $30,000 with my friends. He must be really baller status, huh, Mufti? He must have really, really baller friends.
Man, it's what happens when your parents are scientists, man.
Yeah. And other people would be raising money with their family and friends too. So I was sure it would be okay. But the best bit was that the Imam said that if you're involved with making a masjid or you stop one from shutting down, Allah will build a house for you in paradise. Ain't that cool?
That's awesome, man. Whoa. I couldn't believe it. Is it still echoing?
Right. No. You ain't echoing. You're good.
I couldn't believe it. I imagined Allah making a house for me. And because he's God, he would know exactly what I want in my dream house. It would have one room made entirely of trampolines, even the walls. One room would be a theater with reclining seats so tons of friends could come over. There would be popcorn machines in there too. There would super definitely be a game room with all my favorite video games. And I think if I was in heaven, I would even be allowed to play the forbidden video games that mom and dad forbade me on earth. The kitchen would be built entirely of Oreos, and the only other things available to eat and drink would be pizza and milkshakes.
Oh my God, man!
Break the Oreos off the wall if you wanted.
Oh
and
my God!
Grow back.
Man, dentists are gonna have jobs in Jannah, bro.
You could break the Oreos off the wall and they would just grow back. In the bedroom, the whole floor would be a waterbed. So you could just drop and sleep wherever you wanted. And there would be no roof. So you could see the stars and the planets in the sky. Anything that you threw on the floor would magically put itself in the closet or on the shelves. Dude, imagine that.
My kids would love that.
Dude, I'd love it. Forget your kids, man. I'd love it.
Imagine if after you take a shower, you could just throw the towel on the floor and then bloop, it just magically hangs.
It just magically hangs.
Clothes magically hang. Shoes magically go back into the shoe shelf. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, man. Sounds like the future here. Oh, and all of my favorite authors would be there too. All ready to read me a story. And of course, mom and dad, because they're the best at telling stories. Don't tell my friends, but I still really love it when someone reads me a story. I guess Maryam and Isa could be there too. I was so busy imagining my dream house that I didn't even realize it was time to leave for the masjid until Maryam flicked my ear. Ouch! What the toad skin was that for? For being such a daydreaming piece of ostrich gut. In case you're wondering about this strange way of insulting each other, it all began when mom was driving and a bus pulled out when it shouldn't have, almost causing mom to get into an accident. And mom shouted, "What the bus?" Mariam and I Mariam and I looked at each other and raised our eyebrows all the way to the tops of our foreheads because we saw what mom did there. She swore without swearing. And then a couple of days later, mom dropped a butternut squash on her toes and screamed, "Sugar and 2 pancakes." That was so random that I rolled over and Mariam on the floor laughing. And we repeated it to each other and cracked up again and again. Ever since then, we've been trying to come up with more and more inventive insults. I think I'm winning. Ha 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 ha. As we drove home, I was feeling excited. Not only was I going to help the masjid, but save the masjid with my friends, but I was going to get my dream house for doing it. That's some serious stuff, man. I think you're on mute. That's really creative, man. That's really creative. You know, I think you're on mute, Sheikh G, but I had a teacher who did something similar once and said mother, father. He said, "You guys got to stop behaving like mother, fathers." So this was a really creative, the way the mother right here chose to do that.
All right, chapter 7. I ran to the door when Charlie and Daniel arrived. Daniel was sporting a red nose because he had a cold. Dad looked horrified. He's super scared of germs because when he gets sick, he gets really sick. He says it's a scientific fact that man flu is worse than flu that kids and women get. But mom says it's only because we're a lot tougher than he is. My friends and I went straight up to the bedroom and I shoved Issa's toys under his bed to make space. "Let's brainstorm," I said. "Mrs. Hutchinson always makes us do that to think of ideas." "Okay," said Charlie. Daniel blew his nose and nodded his head. So I got a piece of paper and Sharpies and wrote money making ideas. "Right, guys?" "Shoot," I said. "Lemonade stand." You know, Daniel's got a cold. "Lemonade stand." "Lemonade," I said. "Yeah," I wrote it down. "My uncle sells things on eBay," Charlie said. "Like what?" "Like earphones and fans and stuff like that." "Cool. But where can we get those from?" I said. "We need money," said Daniel. Charlie and I must have looked confused because he tried again. We don't have any. We buying to pay money." Okay, I think I should stick to my daytime job. All right. We do have
That was good. That was good. That was good. You're killing it.
We do have $42.53, I said, figuring out his blocked nose secret code. "I wonder how many earphones we can buy with that." "Or we can just make stuff to sell," said Charlie. I wrote that down. Then I wrote my idea. "Let's hold a talent contest and charge people money to come and see it. It would be so great." "Cool," said Charlie and Daniel both at the same time. "How much should we charge? And where will we have it? Maybe I could ask my parents if we can have it in the backyard or something. Or maybe at the masjid," said Charlie. "Oh yeah, good idea. They have a huge room." I wrote down talent contest and we kept thinking. "Do chores for money," Daniel suggested. "Like cleaning our rooms?" said Charlie with a cheeky grin. We all cracked up laughing. Go, it's your turn.
At the thought of asking our parents for money for cleaning our rooms. Daniel laughed too hard before he managed to grab a tissue and got snot all down his face. Ew, Daniel. I couldn't breathe anymore from laughing. Ouch. Ouch. It hurt. There's something about snot that is funny and disgusting at the same time, like farts, especially when Mariam farts. After we've had curry and she pretends it isn't hers. We've all been there, right? Where someone doesn't pretend it isn't theirs. Anyway,
You know what? I bet you everyone right now is giggling.
I know we've all been there one time, you know?
I know my boys downstairs are giggling right now. And hey, so everyone who's watching, show us how your kids giggle. I put the link in the comment section. Submit your pictures. Show us how your kids enjoy story time, and then maybe sometime we can invite them to read as well and talk about snot and farts.
Or other subjects, but okay. Anyway, by the time we were done, we had lots of ideas to get started on. Everyone brings something to school on Monday, makes stuff to sell, when, where, talent contest, money-making ideas, doing chores, cleaning your bedroom, walking people's dogs, weeding the garden, and washing the car. I was starving after all that thinking. Or maybe it was more because mom has been making these funny, healthy muffin things for breakfast. They're super yuck and super dry. Dad pretends that he likes them so that he doesn't hurt mom's feelings. But once I caught him smothering one with peanut butter when mom wasn't looking, before we went to the masjid, I had put mine in the pocket of my bathrobe and just pretended I'd eaten it. Man, I did that a lot in Hifz. Just pretended like I finished eating something. Have you ever been so hungry you felt like you had a huge hole in your chest? I don't understand it because it should be in my tummy that has a problem with being hungry. But for some reason, it feels more like my chest needs food to fill up. Sometimes it feels like the hole is so big, it could be a gaping wormhole, ready to suck in anything I walk past. I imagine Charlie jumping into it and ending up in some other dimension. I wondered whether he would find me and Daniel in that other dimension and what we would look like there. Probably completely different with green hair or something.
Luckily, Dad had made his famous spaghetti bolognese as a treat since my friends were staying to eat lunch with us. He put stuff in that he won't tell us about, but I don't mind because it tastes delicious. I'm okay as long as he's not adding eye of newt and tongue of toad. Ugh. Or for my kid's case, zira. I guess it wasn't just me who was super hungry because Charlie, Daniel, Mariam, and even Isa shoved down the bolognese without saying a word from start to finish. When I had eaten every last bite, I looked up and realized I was the only one who got it all over my shirt. I'm such a messy eater that mom doesn't let me order spaghetti if we go out to eat. Also, it's not usually halal at restaurants. Well, as soon as Daniel's and Charlie's parents had picked them up, mom said, right, who wants to do grocery shopping with me? Bing! A chore! Perfect opportunity, I thought, and volunteered myself super quick. I'll do it with you, and I will pack the bags and unpack them back at home, all for $2.50. Shipping and handling included. Don't be so cheeky, said Dad. Since when do you get paid to help out? I shrugged. It's part of the plan to raise money for the masjid. That made Dad change his mind pretty fast, he said. He said he was really proud of me and my friends for being such stars. And then he said, of course I could have $2.50 for helping with the shopping. In fact, I could have $5. Oh, yes, Mariam said. That's so unfair. And she stormed off to get her coat. I like doing the grocery shopping with my parents because I can get stuff that they wouldn't normally buy when they go on their, oh, mommy, can I have this? Mommy, can I get this cereal? Can I get something that's not Cheerios? I ask them if I can pretty please have this or that, but sometimes I just sneak it into the packed cart. Oh, guilty as charged. Guilty as charged, Naman. Oh my God. I remember you just get that little Snickers bar and shove it in the shopping cart. And then when it comes, teet, teet, hey, where did that come from? Okay, let it roll. Isa is too big. I guess our audience is learning much more than they're supposed to, right? From Planet Omar.
Omar's smart, man. I'm telling you. They're learning how to fundraise.
Yep. Isa's too big now to sit in the cart like he used to, so I always have to put up with him following me and picking stuff up. Once he even dropped a jar of pasta sauce on the floor and smashed it to smithereens, which was so embarrassing. I wasn't sure if I should run away and pretend I didn't know him or stick around and help mom deal with it.
This time, he started flinging sausages into the cart at the speed of Dad's motorcycle. What are you doing, chipmunk? Said Mom. You can't have all those. They're not halal. Arisa is still learning all about the food he can't eat. When he's at preschool or restaurants and things, because of being Muslim and needing to only eat halal, which has been prepared in a special way and can be confusing for kids, since chicken is okay at home because we get that halal kind, but at school, it's not halal. And Isa doesn't always understand. Maryam teases him for being such a dummy, but I feel sorry for him because he gets sad when he can't eat things he's chosen. Like after the sausages, he chose some candy that had gelatin in them. So he got told they weren't halal and he almost burst into tears. I helped him find some halal ones that said they were vegan and got a pack for myself too. Well, I deserve them for working so hard on this chore.
Man, Omar's really hustling, huh? He's getting $5 to help for groceries, and he's throwing stuff in the cart for himself.
He's like, all right, I'll help him out. He'll get me a candy. Let me do it. Let me help him out. Poor guy. All right. Chapter 8. At school on Monday, we huddled together to share what we had brought in to sell to kids on the playground. Charlie had made yummy cookies at home with his mom, and Daniel had made, wait for it, origami birds. What? Daniel can do origami?
Oh my God.
Charlie and I couldn't believe it. This is the once crazy bully. For those that are just tuning in maybe recently, this is the crazy bully who now is doing origami. We couldn't stop quizzing him about whether he was kidding. Did his dad make them? Did he buy them? Nope. Apparently, he'd been folding paper into things since he was 6, but he'd never shown anyone before. After that, the hard candy that I had found in my bedside table and shoved in my bag to sell didn't seem so great. We walked around the playground, shyly approaching kids, asking them to buy our things. Some kids just laughed and ran away. Lots of kids told Daniel that he did not make those birds, and Charlie and I told them they could bet their best friend's teeth that he did. Sarah from our class really cheekily said, "Can I have a cookie for free?"
Uh-oh. Yo, hook us up with the cookie, bro. Hook us up, man.
She needed financial aid for the cookie, man.
Hey, check this out. So we have someone, okay? Someone has submitted a picture, okay? And we just want to show y'all. This is from Mehwish Farouk, okay? From their house. Mehrush Farouk, I'm sorry. All right. And look, this is how Mr. Redman in the shirt is enjoying story time. MashaAllah, that is so awesome, right?
Shout out to our brother in red.
Yep. Hey, and parents, you are very welcome. You are very welcome. Yes, yes, you are very welcome that myself and Mufti are taking care of your kids while you can probably enjoy your nice warm cup of coffee. It's like, oh my God, yeah, but you are busy for 35, 45 minutes. Chalo koi baat nahi. Even 1 hour is okay. Yes, parents, you are very welcome. You can thank us. We'll leave our emails, inshallah, at the end in the comment section. Okay. So I just wanted to throw it out there. You know what I mean? Hey. So yeah, it is what it is. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So now, no, said Daniel. It's 50 cents and no less because it's delicious. Charlie would give me one for free because he's kind, teased Sarah with one hand over her hip. I would get one for free from him.
Like a Karen, man.
Charlie blushed bright red and immediately handed over a free cookie. Acha, lelo, lelo, lelo. Take this cookie. Take this cookie, sister. Daniel and I said in unison, "Jeez, Charlie." After a while of walking around, we finally realized something. Duh. Kids don't usually bring money to school with them. They all use their Apple iPhones and use Apple Pay. What will we do if we can't sell stuffed kids at school? Who will we sell it to, Daniel? Said Daniel. Maybe we can ask Mrs. Hutchinson if she can talk to the parents and tell them to give their kids some money, I suggested. Do you think she would listen to us, said Daniel, who had seen the angry side of Mrs. Hutchinson a lot when he was more of a troublemaker. Definitely. She's really cool. She always helps, Charlie assured him. You ask her, Charlie, I said, because no matter how nice she was, I still felt too shy to ask her something like that. Why me? Pleaded Charlie. Because you have the best smile, I said quickly, thinking of one reason we all like him so much. Charlie went red again and said that we should all ask her together. It's a plan, said Daniel. Yep, I agreed. So we went to Mrs. Hutchinson, who looked like she had just started her lunch. Even though it was nearly the end of lunchtime, her hair told me why. She had been very busy. Her hair couldn't hide anything. It was all over the place. Some curls looked like they had to be somewhere else, while others were desperately trying to eat her lunch. Kind of like my hair right before we started, right? Okay.
We told her all about the plan to raise money so that the masjid wouldn't have to close down. She looked at us as if she was about to burst with pride and love or something. I wondered if a human ever did actually burst with pride and love. Would there be like balloons and confetti and cotton candy come flying out of them? You are such generous children, she said. I'm going to help you as much as I can. But the thing is that I can't speak to parents without Mr. McLeary approving it first. He is the principal. I'll arrange a meeting for the three of you to tell him about your idea. Go. Mr. McLeary is the meanest meanie in this whole school. Everyone calls him Mr. McScary behind his back. I have literally never seen him smiling at a kid, and now we are at his mercy. Mr. McScary, man. Chapter 9. As soon as I got home from school and downed a bag of chips and the apple that mom said that I had to have if I wanted the chips, there's always that incentive, right? Have the fruit and then you can have the chocolate. I went over to see my next door neighbor, Mrs. Rogers, biryani loving Mrs. Rogers. Now there's a lovely face I haven't seen in a while, she said when she opened her door. I've been busy making plans to save the masjid, I told her. Save the mosque? Well, that sounds heroic. What are you saving it from? From man-eating zombies. And she said, oh no, when are they coming? I'll put it in my calendar, said Mrs. Rogers. She's always unexpectedly hilarious. She surprises me every time I see her, and I'm not an easy kid to surprise because my imagination has already thought of everything. Am I going? You're on mute. It's so much better now than we first moved in and she didn't like us. I got it, man. I got you.
My bad. I was on mute.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's all good, man. Let me save you the house.
I'm usually never quiet. You know that, right?
You're Daniel, man. After we finished giggling, I told her about the real situation.
Hey, you want a free cookie?
Listen, man, I'm gonna put my hand on my hip, bro. Don't make me ask you again.
Come on, man. 50 cents, bro. Come on, man. 50 cents for the masjid, bro.
It's for me, man. It's for me. So I actually came over to ask you if I can do some chores for you and get paid. I said, smiling my best smile. Sure, you can start by washing my car. Mrs. Rogers' car was one of the surprising things about her. My nanny doesn't drive, and I've never seen any other people that old driving. But Mrs. Rogers still drives her car all the time. And there's a picture of Mrs. Rogers with her head sticking out.
Beep, beep.
Right?
That's a bug. That's right? A beetle.
That's a beetle, man. Old school.
That's old school. That's antique right there.
She got good taste, Mrs. Rogers, driving sharp. She looked at me as if she was reading my thoughts, which I'd kept to myself because mom and dad says it's not polite to call people old. I'm as sharp as a bat, you know, she said. Don't be fooled by this wrinkly skin. And she winked.
You know, she looks like she's driving pretty fast in that picture. She should really keep her eyes on the road.
I think this is where she's winking at him. If she's winking like this, man, she needs to stop winking.
Yeah, she needs to look. Hey, lady, look forward. Oh, man. Good.
That's you, man. Go for it.
She handed me $8 and did the best I could, which must have been not too bad because Mrs. Rogers seemed pleased once I was done. I had imagined teeny tiny stormtroopers helping me, which made it way better, especially when my fingers were cold. Why were they teeny tiny? Because normal sized stormtroopers would just be normal, and that's only half as fun. Back at home, mom was exhausted. I can't wait to get off my feet, she kept saying as she stirred the lamb korma we were having for dinner. I thought, ding. How could I make her feel better and hustle her for some money? And earn some money at the same time? She did everything for us all day long. She deserved a spa treatment. So when she finished cooking, I went upstairs to get things ready. I thought for the very best spa experience, I'd have to stimulate all 5 senses. I got some of mom's lotions and face creams out and put them on her bedside table. Then I went downstairs to get some cucumbers. I saw a cardboard box from a package mom had opened earlier with those soft white things in it for protection. Perfect. I grabbed that. Next, I went into Mariam's room for one of her Lindor chocolates, which I know she keeps hidden in her bedside table. She screamed at me, of course, "Hey, don't you know how to knock?" Sorry. I grinned like I was a yellow emoji with all the teeth showing. Sorry. It's just that I'm trying to make mom feel relaxed, and a chocolate treat is part of it. So I was wondering if I can have one of yours to give to her. To my huge surprise, she softened up right away and threw one at me with a smile. Thanks, I said. Teenagers are super weird. Next, I made a sign and stuck it up in the hallway. Omar's Spa. Treatments available. Okay. So Omar wants to treat his mom, okay? But he's gonna hustle her for look at this. Face massage $250, face and feet massage $3, full body massage $350, open on Monday and Friday evenings. I think that's pretty cheap.
I mean, that's dude, man. CEO Omar.
Go ahead.
Well, I couldn't be stuck rubbing people's feet every day. I still wanted to play with my stuff sometimes. Mom, come to my spa. Your spa? Yes, come quickly. Mom came upstairs, and although she was very confused, I made her lie down on her bed and quickly plunked the cucumber slices on her eyes. I had seen that somewhere on TV. Eek! Mom squealed, reaching for the cucumbers. What is this? It's cucumber. Mom, just be still and keep those on your eyes. I'm going to relax your tired feet now. I put the box of white things on the bed and stuck both her feet into it. Mom giggled a bit. Next, I got a dollop of cream and started rubbing it on her face. Wow, said Mom. But she sounded like it wasn't wow. So I had to step things up. Open your mouth. Okay. What are you going to put inside of it? She asked. She sounded pretty scared. Just open it and keep your eyes closed. I'm stimulating all of your 5 senses. And I shoved the chocolate through her hesitating lips. She relaxed a bit. I could tell. She likes Lindor.
It would have been really funny if he just like squirted the face cream and your mom, you want some cream?
Oh, sorry, Mom. Cocoa butter. Then I remembered I hadn't stimulated the hearing sense. I cranked the volume up and hit play on my iPad. It was Sunflower from the Spider-Verse movie. Mom jumped. Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that, sweetie, she said, and pretended to be relaxed. I'm going to massage your feet now, I announced. I tipped out some lotion, lots of it. Oh, that's cold, said Mom. But then after a while, she added, it does feel good, actually. I needed that. Finally, I thought. Oops, I forgot the 5th sense. Smell. I ran to the bathroom. Oh, and got the air freshener. Okay. I thought 7 quick oh my God. I thought 7 quick squirts should do the job. That's a lot of air freshener, man. This spa might just shut down, man. Biohazard. Mom coughed, right? Mom coughed a bit and choked out. Can I go downstairs? I need to check the curry.
Good thing it wasn't Lysol, bro. Yeah. No, you have to stay like that for 2 hours, I explained. Well, nobody can relax properly in 10 minutes. Dad's home now. I'll ask him to check it. Mom said, okay, and gave in. She didn't end up staying 2 hours in the end because we had to have dinner. I was glad anyway. I didn't realize how slow 2 hours can be when you're rubbing someone's feet. Mom gave me $10 instead of the 3 I had written on the sign for the spa. As soon as the bill hit my hand, Mariam appeared from nowhere with a scowl on her face. Dinosaur's fart, she said. She was referring to me. You think you're clever, but last night I saw you trying to open a wall to get into the bathroom. Yeah, right, I said. That was such a hilarious thought. I chuckled super loud, but Mariam wasn't chuckling with me. She was looking at me as if I was a rhino and I was getting in the way of its water hole. I knew that face. She was up to something. All right. Man.
That was a good gulp, man.
Yeah. So, we're talking about Planet Omar, right? So, and in this series, so what happens in this series, we know from the first book that Omar and his family moved to a new town, and then they visit their neighborhood masjid. They really have a good time. They don't have the uncles and aunties over there who are always telling the kids, hey, Beto, hey, sit down, shh, quiet, just like the Allen Masjid, right? Where everyone's just kind of chill, relaxed, koi batni. Everyone's just like really, really kind and courteous. And so they really like the masjid. And then they find out that, oh my God, the masjid's roof is about to collapse and they need money. So obviously Omar don't have 30 grand in the bank yet. So they come up with different unique ways to raise funds for their masjid, because when we talk about the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, it's the house of Allah, but who takes care of it? We all chip in. Allah gives us the opportunity. Allah gives us the opportunity and the chance to chip in to help his masjid. So we all know the Allen Masjid, right? For those of us who are watching in Allen, you know the masjid. The masjid didn't just fall from the sky, okay? The masjid took almost 18 years of selling 50-cent cookies, a lot of cookies, a lot of spas, and people really worked hard and worked together to make this possible, right? With the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today we have the Allen Masjid that we see and we enjoy, mashallah. And guess what? Now that our community is growing, right? So, hey, Mufti, all these kids eating Oreos, kids grow, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And when kids grow, the communities grow, the masjid grows, and then we slowly need to expand. So I want to just throw it out there to everyone who's watching, children and parents alike, that the Allen Masjid, alhamdulillah, has gone a long way. And I'm not trying to jip someone, I'm not trying to slide in a fundraiser over here, but hey, we also have a fundraiser coming up next Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this little flyer with you. Next Friday. Oh, let me put it up. Let me put it back up there. So next Friday, okay. Next Friday, we are going to be having a fundraiser. Where to go? Why? Okay, right? Oh my God, look at that. Look at this. That's so many heads right there, right? So next Friday, inshallah, we're going to be having a fundraiser. Now, what is this fundraiser for? No, it's not to help the masjid's roof from collapsing, okay? Speaking about roofs, you see this? This is an overhead drone picture of the new gymnasium and some of the classrooms that are going to be ready by March. Okay. Now, you see this? That is the current Allen Masjid on the right, and the little small building next to it that looks like it has like I don't know if that's a UFO landing pad, right? That little diamond. It's so symmetric. It's amazing. It's amazing how we have a symmetric stain mark on top of the roof, right? So we need to tell the government about this, all right? And then you see in the back right there, Mufti, that is where our gymnasium is going to be. We're going to be able to play basketball and whatever. And in order to complete the rest of the project, on the right side of the masjid, on the left side, you see all of that grass, right? You see this whole thing, inshallah, will be covered with building so that we can have classrooms for our masjid, so that, we can, everyone can come and enjoy the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, enjoy the home of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, they're working really quick, and, since COVID and whatnot, and the masjid's kind of like, not 100%. So because of that, they're really working really fast and really hard. And getting, so this is inside. They put the metal beams up, and they're going to be covering this. They're going to have big screen TVs, right? We're going to be able to play basketball, have all these other cool, fun events, and inshallah, hopefully, hey, we'll be able to do story time in person, right?
Absolutely, inshallah.
So, for those of y'all who are watching, go to www.allenmasjid.org and help donate, donate and help support your local masjid so that inshallah we can finish this entire project, right? So thank you very much for joining us, Mufti Saab. Thank you very much for joining me as well. And, for everyone who's watching, thank you for submitting your pictures. And till next time, we hope and pray that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Take care of your souls. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.